BBC Breakfast News with Keith Gudgeon and Sarah Burberry.
Good morning. The headlines. Prime Minister to address Parliament on constitutional changes. Chairman of City Stockbrokers Schneider Horrocks charged with fraud, and England's friendly against Albania is postponed. Here's Sarah with the news in full.
Thank you, Keith. The Prime Minister, Mr. Major, is to address Parliament on some new constitutional changes. The chairman of City Stockbrokers, Schneider Horrocks, has been charged with fraud, and England's friendly match against Albania has been postponed. Now over to our political correspondent, Gerald Harris.
Well, it's expected that today some new constitutional changes will make up the Prime Minister's address to Parliament.
Now the latest from our sports desk with Tessa.
Thank you, Keith. There's dramatic news today in the world of sport. A major story with far-reaching consequences. Yes, the big news is that England have postponed their friendly with Albania. With that, it's back to Sarah for the news headlines.
Thank you so much.
We left our home in the east and made our way across this mighty continent to the rolling prairies of the west and found the finest topsoil in the land. Thousands joined us at Dusty Creek to farm that rich, fertile earth, turning it into the great Dust Bowl of America. We were so poor there was no food in the house, but somehow Ma managed to rustle something up. Ma, Pa, Granny, and Grandpappy sat round the kitchen table waiting for us kids. We sure were late for dinner.
Amen.
Children sure are late for dinner.
They sure are. I say we eat.
No, Grandpappy. Not a morsel shall pass our lips until the children are here.
I'm hungry.
We're all hungry.
You're all so full of the Lord's love, I'm surprised you got room for food.
What's gotten into you?
It's the depression.
When I'm depressed, I eat.
Tomboy, where you been? It's midnight. Where are the others?
Don't eat that stew.
Don't listen to him.
What happened, son?
He locked us up in the barn.
The boy's lying.
Me, Betty Sue, Timmy, Bobby, the twins, Agnes May, Toby, Mikey, Maisie, Lonnie, and Deke. He locked us all up.
Don't listen to him. The boy's insane. Can't you see that?
Go on. Go on, tell them how you killed Agnes May and Mikey for dinner.
You didn't!
I didn't think you'd miss, too.
Good afternoon. Following disappointing viewing figures for El Dorado, a BBC spokesman today denied the rumour that many of the soap's most unpopular characters are to be killed off in a coach crash. The spokesman also rejected the suggestion that other passengers might include Les Dennis, Paul Daniels and Esther Ransom. Michael Jackson is suing the Daily Mirror for libel over their description of the effects of plastic surgery. Jackson admits that he has had plastic surgery, but faced the press this week with his mother and father to prove that there was still a strong family resemblance.
Old Reynard the Fox. He's a kind, cute fella on the whole, living his carefree, happy life. Hold on just one cotton-picking minute. What's that? Uh-oh. The Johnny Huntsman and that pretty little hound dogs. Better run, Reynard. Get your hide out of there, less'n you want to be nipped in the bud. Whoa, fella. Better not go back to base. You'll leave them to Mommy and the kids, won't you? Heck, they're closing in, fella. You're out of practice. You ain't gonna let them two-bitted hound dogs catch you now, are you? Did them little hound dogs get him? No, but a man with the shovel did.
Time now for another trip down memory lane with another classic repeat from 30 years ago.
Hello.
Now, isn't it frightfully inconvenient to have to hold a transistor wireless to your ear when you wish to listen to the latest gramophone records? But luckily, that's a thing of the past, thanks to the ingenious new invention of a music system that fits over your head, so you can walk around with it. So, what's the verdict, Patrick?
Oh, it's magnificent, Jerry. Just like being at home with your very own gramophone player. I'm certain it'll catch on. It's great.
Thanks, Patrick. And now, have you ever wondered what policemen could look like in 20 years' time? Here's Ronald.
If you're alarmed at seeing a British policeman dressed in this fashion, rest assured, we're a far cry from America, where this is common. If a British bobby ever has to resort to such contraptions to enforce law and order, then I'll eat my hat.
And finally, here's Patrick with an exciting new pastime, solar-powered pipe smoking.
This is certainly an improvement on conventional pipe smoking.
So, do you think it will take off?
Oh, I'm certainly will. I'm going to change my own pipe smoking habits from now on.
So, just some of the ingenious inventions we'll be using in the world tomorrow. Next week, an inventor who claims he's discovered a way of sending pieces of paper down the telephone line. Goodbye.
Hello there. And today I'm going to explain all about the presidential elections in the United States of America. The USA is a very big country over the sea. The Americans don't have a prime minister or a queen, but a president who is a mixture of both. Their election campaign goes on for most of the year because it's designed to select the most able candidate from a country of over 250 million people. Ronald Reagan was a popular president. Now, President Bush isn't as popular as his challenger, Governor Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton is popular because it's rumored that he used to be friendly with a woman who wasn't his wife. George Bush isn't popular because the only woman he's friendly with is his wife. Some people think Bill Clinton is stupid because he admitted to having a few puffs on a naughty kind of cigarette. But being stupid doesn't necessarily stop you from being president. And what of the political differences? Well, America has two parties. The Republican Party is a right-wing party that's like our Conservative Party, whereas the Democratic Party is a right-wing party that's like our Conservative Party.
Good evening. In the Olympics, Chris Boardman's gold medal cycling success for Britain has been overshadowed by the news that his bike is being tested for drugs.
More bad news for the government today from the British building industry. Commenting on the state of the economy, a spokesman said, "Bloody hell, who's the cowboy who did this then?"
Yesterday was the 115th birthday of Charlotte Hughes, Britain's oldest living citizen. Born in 1877, Mrs. Hughes claims to be the only person in Britain able to remember life under a Labour government.
Following the much-publicised breakdown of Mick Jagger's marriage to Jerry Hall, a marriage guidance counsellor said today, "Well, he tried, and he tried, and he tried, and he tried."
Hi.
Hello.
And on today's programme, I'm going to be looking at the latest Walkman from Japan, which is so small, it's invisible to the naked eye.
And I'll be trying out the newest piece of equipment that the British police force has developed to combat inner-city crime.
But first, here's a novel idea that might just catch on.
A solar-powered pipe.
There's a brand new season of great sitcoms coming soon on BBC One. Back again with the same old jokes, it's How's Your Father?
George, can't you do that upstairs?
Miley, darling. We live in a bungalow.
There's the 59th series of that old favourite, Are You Getting Enough?
Oh, Mr. Hopkins, I wonder if you'd mind grabbing hold of my pussy and giving it a good stroke.
Mother warned me about women like you.
And there's more good old-fashioned racial stereotypes in Ain't Half a Nasty Nip in the Air, my lad.
I say, old chap, this just isn't cricket.
Unless you obey my orders, I will have you taken out and shot.
BBC Comedy, the biggest joke in television.
The new image on Pops is new bands, new music, and new faces.
Nobody knows who we are.
Tonight's show, we've got exclusive clips of Michael Jackson's new $34 million video, Colour Means Nothing.
All shot in black and white, except for Michael Jackson, who's the only one in colour.
Which colour will be anyone's guess.
The people you definitely will recognise.
Everybody's been doing it, and the BBC Situation Comedy team are no exception.
Take it away!
Yo, kids! Totally rad. We're the sitcom crew.
They're bad.
We're crap. Huh. And that's a fact.
Pete Waterman told them
We can't act. Can dance.
Sing.
You're perfect for me.
Do you want a #1 like
Kylie? No. Huh.
Do what Pete says.
What does Pete say? Use your catchphrase.
Stroke, stroke, stroke my pussy.
You nana.
Stroke, stroke, stroke my pussy.
That'll be the doorbell.
Stroke, stroke, stroke my.
Nana.
I'm a
Doorbell. Doorbell.
Stroke, stroke, stroke my.
That'll be the
Pussy.
On November the 22nd, 1963, lone gunman Lee Harvey Oswald fired 4 shots from a window of the Dallas Book Depository, killing President Kennedy and thus changing the history of the world. Or did he? This week, we present amazing new evidence which suggests a totally different account of the Kennedy assassination. This man has unraveled a complex web of connections between the CIA, the Mafia, and a sinister family firm based here in Britain.
I can prove it was the royal family that done that. See, they was jealous of the Kennedys' wealth and glamour.
This photo, taken just a few hours after the assassination, was confirmed by forensic experts to be of Princess Margaret. Why is she smiling? Is it because she knows something about a sophisticated conspiracy to remove the most prominent member of American royalty? Or is she just pissed? And what part was played by her sinister-looking brother-in-law, with his kinky penchant for naval uniforms and aliases such as the Duke and Phil the Greek? At the exact time the assassination took place, he was seen driving a coach and horse over a grassy knoll in Derbyshire. However, our anonymous informant believes that the actual bullet that killed Kennedy was fired by this man. Yes, it was the gang leader himself, the pushy, sinister Austrian transvestite known to the underworld as Michael the Mangler. Next week, we expose the international drug smuggling racket run by this woman, Mother Teresa of Calcutta. Good night.
The BBC's new season of drama opens with Forever Uphill, the harrowing tale of a Donegal family struggle to survive the bitter famine of '94.
Life is hard, Maureen.
Oh, it is, Patrick. But I still fancy you.
In our period C drama, Mutiny of the Waves, there's a stormy confrontation.
You're insolent, rude, and difficult.
And those are only my good points.
So why do we find you so incredibly attractive?
And the series ends with a provocative play set in the riot-torn inner cities, where deprivation, tension, and aggression become intolerable.
I can't take this any longer. Come on.
BBC Drama, the best sex on television.
Good evening. The Erich Honecker trial. Now that the former East German leader has been brought to justice for crimes committed during his corrupt rule over a demoralized country, it is rumored that Margaret Thatcher has gone into hiding. Antonia de Sancha, the toe-sucking actress in the David Merrow affair, has decided to return to Spain, where she intends to lie low and keep out of the public eye. She's joining the cast of El Dorado.
No, love, he just sat on one. That's his story, anyway.
I'm sorry, Mr. Baker, you'll just have to take a seat.
But you see, it's not just a nosebleed. There's grey stuff like pot noodles coming out. And I don't even eat pot noodles.
Mr. Baker, you'll just have to take a seat. The doctor will see you shortly.
All right, then.
Look, you've got the wrong end of the stick as usual,
Charlie!
Yes, when I called you dickhead just now, it was only because I'd just forgotten your...
Name?
Yes!
Charlie!
Yes. Oh, you'll live. Yeah, and you'll live.
Listen, Julia, I don't mind you calling me dickhead.
Oi.
I know you just forgot my name, but we've got a real problem here. I don't mind it. I can only put it down to gross overtiredness.
Oh, you'll live. Oh. No, perhaps not. We've got a stiff in number 5!
Look, I really think you should get some sleep before you end up killing somebody. Julia, you've been awake for 184 hours.
Well, that's just like a man to think that he can stay awake longer than a woman, isn't it? Oh, whatever your name is.
Charlie! Look, I mean it, Julia. This is getting dangerous. I know. I'm a nurse.
Oh, a nurse, eh? Well, where are your tits?
Really, thanks very much for your help, but I think I can go home now, you see. It stopped bleeding now, you see.
Has it?
Bollocks, it has. Now sit down.
Oh, thank God you're here, Doctor. Yeah, I've been waiting for this all day.
Oh, bloody shut up! Now, to book some overtime.
That's Charlie! Charlie Brown!
On the front cover of this week's Times of Things on the Radio is the star of top TV sitcom How's Your Father? And inside he tells us how his life off-screen is just as hilariously accident-prone as that of the character he plays. Yes, Times of Things on the Radio is packed full of fascinating articles on the brilliant comedy and drama programmes on BBC television. And at the back, there's a couple of pages which tell you the times of things on the radio.
I never knew there was so little in it. At only 55p, it's only 55p more expensive than the TV listings magazines all the newspapers give away.
I never got wed, me. Well, what was the point? I was never much interested in the convolutions of married life. Casual sex, on the other hand, I find extremely interesting. Now, this is to go no further, mind. But last Friday, I had an unexpected caller. Asked if I had any antiques, and if so, could he have them? I said, I'm an antique, you can have me. Well, no sooner had he gone than the phone rang. It was that nose of Mrs. Whippethwaite from opposite. Saying she'd seen what had happened through her net curtains and was going to report me. To whom, I asked, outraged indignation welling. Well, 2 days later, I got my answer. It was that award-winning Alan Bennett pummelling my 3-tone door chime, saying he'd come round for a cup of Assam breakfast and a toasted cheese. I rounded on him over a Garibaldi. You've been talking to that Mrs. Whippethwaite opposite, haven't you? Now, Myrtle, he said, pass us a rich tea and keep your knickers on. And what's that supposed to mean? I inquired, casually dunking a bourbon. Myrtle, he continued, all Yorkshire diphthongs by way of Oxford University. You're to stop sleeping around. I said, listen, you can stick your sharply observed idiomatic rhythms, Alan Love. I'm done with sitting in cosy low middle-class front rooms, gnawing granary love for the roughage and saying where there's muck, there's brass. I'm tired of idiosyncratically manipulating the vernacular, so I booked a skiing holiday to France. A skiing holiday, I shrieked. You're from Huddersfield.
Well, it only remains for me, Brian du Maurier, to wish you all a very special good night. And don't forget to switch off your set. Good night. Well, if you're still watching, and especially if you're on your own, here's a very, very, very special, very warm, comforting goodnight kiss from me, Brian du Maurier. Come on now, Betty Bice. You know, a lot of lonely ladies write to me. Dear Brian, what a sexy voice you've got. I always stay up to hear your voice and go to bed imagining you're still with me. I often wonder what it would be like to know you personally. Yours, hopefully, Brenda Boggis. Well, if my voice has given you any interesting bedtime thoughts, why not write to me? And don't forget to include a candid photo of yourself. Like that.